Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'll be taking a look at Gecata by Movavi. Nobody knows how you pronounce this. Let's just move along. So in the free game recording software series, I have about 8 programs to review. 8 more programs, maybe I'll add a couple to the list, maybe I'll remove something. I'll try to give you as much information as I can. What am I thinking when I'm looking at these things? Try to put as much information as I can, so if you have patience to listen to all of this, I'll probably reveal everything you are looking for, so stick to the end of this video. Disclaimer, I will show you a sample video of me playing a game, and if I suck, don't dislike the video. I'm just kidding, that's not the disclaimer. It's not gonna matter so much what game am I playing or how much performance impact does this program make on my system, because everybody has a different system, different computer, and everybody is gonna play a different game. So this is one thing that we shouldn't pay much attention to. However, I'm still gonna give you my feedback. So finally, let's take a look at the website. Oh wait, first things first, here's a must-have features list. I think it's self-explanatory, so let's get started. First and foremost, I want to say that the website looks very nice. The color theme of the website is on spot. I want to say it matches everything fine. Taking a look at the color wheel, clearly somebody paid attention to the colors on the website. Here's a little information. If you take, let's say, blue color, and you want to try to match it with another color, either use the colors that are really close or the colors that are opposite. So here we have yellow color, the opposite is purple, and those would be very good combinations. If we take a look at the website, we can in fact see a bunch of yellow, orange, and in the back, purple and all those little colors. So somebody made a good decision when making a website. So it says, simple and solid game recorder and streaming program. Not interested in streaming so much, but the recording itself. Good game, well served. I guess that's their motto or something like that. And here we actually see a rating of 4.1 and there is actually 1,600 reviews. I'm actually going to click on it and it takes me to some sort of Google website, Google page. I'm not sure exactly what is this. I guess I can change the ratings from other countries and I can see what's going on here. I'm not going to look into the detailed reviews so much, but one thing that just sticks out to me is the rating of 4.1. This is a fair rating to me. From years of experience, taking a look at the programs and products, the sellers and developers, they like to put at least 4.5 and they don't really like to go under that. So to see a score of 4.1 gives a little bit trust in it. It makes it realistic. So we see yellow download for free and also buy now button. Underneath it says by clicking download for free, you are downloading the free version of Gecata by Movavi. Scrolling down, there is actually a preview video, and watching it just gives you some idea of how the program looks like, as you can see right here, and also some of the claims by developers. I'm not going to spend time on that. I think those things are also available on the website itself. Here we go, ultimate gaming recording software, pick your gun. Here we have some testaments, I guess. Here's how the recording, I guess, goes. You play it, records, we have just some recording footage and what's going on. So again, it gives us the idea of how the program looks like and what's going on. Down here we actually have a couple of features listed: two-way sound capture, no performance loss, full control, game mode, hardware acceleration, and so forth. Close to the bottom of the website we have supported games. This is, well, basically what's going on is these are the supported games that this program can record. It probably can record a couple of more, but they were not tested. So the best bet is to only use this program with these games. This is a trend that I am really not a fan of. Back in the day, and that would be like maybe 8 years ago, or maybe even 9. When I was looking for a program to use and record my games, usually the developers would specify if the program supports DirectX, D3D, OpenGL, software type of recording. That basically tells you whether you can record your game or not, because most games run in OpenGL or D3D mode, or DirectX 11 mode, for example, some of those modes. So usually if the program supports the recording of those modes, you will be able to use it to record your game. But this makes a program very limited, so you can use it to only record these games. And I will mention that later in the video. Let's keep moving on. Underneath we also have a little specification, the current version, the size, and also the price. And underneath we have a little specs sheet. what your computer needs. And underneath, I like this, but let's read it. The free version of Gecata by Movavi has the following restrictions: 10 minutes of continuous capture, and there's going to be a watermark on output videos. Even though it is very small, I at least have to commend this. Now I know exactly what restrictions the program is going to have. Let's click buy now and see if we can maybe compare free version and the pro version. And what we can see is basically the list of, I guess, licenses or maybe plans that you can use. Here's what you have presented. There's nothing that compares free version, but we're gonna take a look at it. So at the moment I am actually downloading the program and it's downloading it in, I don't know what words to use. This is hilarious. 6 kilobytes per second. It's gonna take me 1 hour and 27 minutes to download this, which tells me that these servers are extremely slow. Taking a look at my tray area, you can see that I do not have torrents open or anything like that in the background. Is it worth it to wait? What is this? It's gonna go up to 2 hours, it seems. Is it worth it to wait that long for downloading of a program? Well, I'll have to do it for you, I guess. And the download speeds is just dropping, 4.6.
Oh, it was almost there. It was almost there. Come on, baby, push.
So finally, after a few tries, it downloaded. So let's go ahead and install it and see what's going on. So here's the program. I'm gonna click on it. And let's see what happens when it opens up. It's taking its time. Here it is loading. And the first thing we are greeted is a, I guess, promotional page, but also here is a very good comparison of free versus paid versions. So we can stream, but there will be a watermark. There's a 10-minute limit. Recorded video optimization for 30 days. I'm not sure what that means. We don't have free updates within the version. We have to update it ourselves, I guess, and there's not going to be technical support. So I'm just going to click continue, and here is the program. Let me click record and showcase you the recording process very quickly. Well, first things first, obviously, I gotta have a game that's supported. So since this is a demonstration of the recording process, let me really quickly click record. So here we are in the game, and as you can see, once the recording starts, it becomes orange. I guess the text changes. And yeah, basically once you complete the recording, you just press the stop and it turns green, and that seems to be it. You can click this button and here's where your actual recording is, so I guess you can watch it if you want to. That was the recording process. Now let's take an in-depth look into the program. So let's talk about what we see inside the game on the screen, which is the overlay or just the FPS counter and more information. So obviously the first thing we see is the FPS counter. The second thing is actually OGL 32-bit. This is what I was talking to you guys. This application is running in OpenGL mode and the program recognized it. Then here is the free space I have on my hard disk that I am recording to. We have a couple of shortcuts that basically tells us what to press to start or stop recording and a bunch of other actions. I'll minimize the game. Let's take a look at the actual recorder. We have Gecata by Movavi, and it clearly tells us that this is a trial version. But the thing that concerns me is the confusion here. Is it a free version? What's going on? Because trials expire. So what's going to happen? I'm not sure about it, but it's there. Next thing we see is the recording button, and actually a couple of more buttons. I think this is the streaming. We have pause and taking screenshots, and all of them are labeled with shortcuts. Here we have actually a capture mode, whether we want to capture a game or a desktop. Moving to the right, we have a button to purchase the activation code. Next button is to type in the activation code. We have some help, and that's what it is. There's also minimize, but this minimizes the program to the tray area, so basically it disappears from the taskbar. Let me minimize, so let's minimize it. As you can see, it disappears. It's actually in the tray area right here. Next thing we have minimize and also close. Next button actually opens up the recording sort of a gallery, if you will, where you can see all of your recordings, where they are stored. You can show only videos, audio, or screenshots. We can actually click capture, and then we can show in folder or export our recording. So I'm going to click that, and it asks me to type in the name, where I want to save it. I can select a format. So let's, for the hell of it, just select a GIF. and we can choose the quality. However, the slider doesn't seem to be working. Let's try AVI, and in that case we can't choose or switch the slider. While doing that, the file size obviously changes. So here I have a GIF. There's also a resolution, and I guess the super speed. What's the super speed? I'm not exactly sure, but if you tick it, here's what happens. It's obviously not available for everything. And here we also can see resolution. I'm going to click advanced, and that's where I can actually change the size, the frame, and the FPS, and also the audio channels. So really quickly, let's see custom, and yeah, however, I cannot exactly choose sample rate, and channels would be the audio, basically stereo, mono, whatever you want. I'm actually going to choose a very small size, and we can also stretch the video, or yeah, bunch of scaling options. They call it framing. I'm going to click save, and here we have more information, and if I click save, here we can see actually the video is getting exported, possibly getting converted as well. Let's test it out really quickly, or just let's check it out really quickly. There's no acceleration, so I guess that means the super speed. I click show in folder, and that is correct. The video actually got converted. So here we can see the recorded video, and then here's the GIF. I wonder if I just double click, and look, it actually plays. Very nice. There's, however, the logo as well, the watermark, if you will. So that was this sort of a converter, I want to call it. Next, we can actually do a couple of edits on the video. We can actually cut a video, or just a portion that we want. Basically cuts out the portion that you select. There's undo and redo option, which are very fast, also taking a screenshot, and then just sharing or / uploading to any of Google services. I'm going to actually close this, and let's continue our exploration with the program. If I click this, it's going to just open up the output folder, so I'm not going to do that. We have a couple of information here, and also preferences. If I click this, it actually drops down a little section, and we can check what else we have. Devices, obviously your camera, your audio devices. Here's my microphone. We have files, basically where everything is saved, the folders. Hotkeys, we can change those, very self-explanatory. Overlay, so that's what we have seen inside the game when I am actually playing. So this right here, so I can actually turn off or turn something on. So there we go, the frame, the FPS actually disappeared. So yeah, that's what we can do. We can also turn it off if we want to. There's one interesting option. We can choose to show overlay on recorded videos. This is useful, for example, if you want to showcase to the viewers how many frames you're getting, what's going on. And here we have overlay drawing type. So there's a fast, and there's also slow, which is stable. I guess it just changes how this is displayed. There we go. Basically changes, I guess, the font maybe. It looks a little better. And also we can change the position of the overlay. Next, we have a video. How is it recorded? For example, we have codecs, which is the only one we have. Also, there's a resolution that goes up to 4K. Also, frame rate goes up until 120. I'm just going to test it and use 90 just for the testing, again, to see if there are any restrictions. Also, we are familiar with the quality slider. Here's another slider that's very interesting. If it's moved to the left, there's going to be less impact to your system, but there's going to be also lower quality of the file. And then to the right side, it's better quality, but more impact on your system. It requires basically more resources. Here we have a couple of options to use the acceleration. Basically, sometimes if you use the acceleration, your recording can be better. What this basically means is either use your CPU acceleration or your graphics card acceleration to record videos, possibly even to encode the videos. Again, sometimes this can be faster. Here we have audio quality options from mono to stereo, and also a bunch of kilohertz options. I just use this one. This option is very useful for me, for example, because, I mean, here you can see the explanation, so I'm not going to bother explaining it. Feel free to read it. But basically record in a separate track, very interesting. And also show cursor on recording. Show watermark is grayed out because there will be a watermark since this is a free version. Here we have some webcam options. I'm not going to go over those. Very easy, self-explanatory. Streaming options, I'm skipping those because I'm not interested in streaming. And for other, we have some options as well. Again, we have some performance options, and that's pretty much it, I think. A couple of things to turn off is, I guess, send anonymous usage stat to Movavi. And also save extended logs for troubleshooting if that's not something you're not interested in. If you want to contribute, I guess, do tick this on. First impressions of the program. Very simple and very easy. Straight to the point. Very easy to understand. There are very useful options. nicely done, nicely made. I can see that it's still following the theme from the website. It's yellow around and there's sort of a black inside. Everything is pretty much there. Honestly, very satisfied with the first impressions. Does this program have luxury features and what are they? This is the little section I've been waiting for. Sure it does. And I want to start with the feature that I simply can't live without, which is capture separate streams. Again, you can read what it does, but long story short, for me, allows me to capture my audio of the microphone into a separate track so I can edit the audio easily, increase the volume or decrease the volume if I need to. Basically, it gives me options for editing. One thing that I really appreciate is how you can turn on or turn off overlay on recorded videos. So you can see the overlay for yourself, but in the recorded video there's not going to be overlay, or you might want to show it. The fact that there is 120 frames per second and you can record 4K, I think is definitely considered a luxury feature, as well as the hardware acceleration that's available. Now I'm not sure if you can turn it off or turn it on, but it's there. I guess since it's there, you should be able to turn it on. Also, the exporting feature in general just surprised me. There are bunch of fun options to use and to just convert your videos. Very interesting. And just the fact that in advanced there is actually framing, so sort of what do you want to do, stretch the video or crop it, or yeah, I like it. I haven't seen this in any programs that I've used. Here I have a recorded footage. Let's drop the last one since I will use this for a sample video. Let's put it in a video editing software. So here's the imported video. We can see that it's actually 29.32 frames per second. I did put it to record at 30 frames per second. So let's actually put it in. It's 30 seconds and I'm actually just going to take a look at what's going on. So the sequence settings have been set at 1920 1080 and here's how it all looks like. I guess that's because it was Minecraft. It just puts these black bars on it. But let's preview it really quickly. So the recording looks just fine, however I do see only one track. I'm actually going to quickly go back, turn on capture separate streams, and let's see what happens with the recording of my microphone. So here's something interesting that happened. The folder was created and inside it I can actually find the two files. So let's just quickly drag and drop them and see what happens. So one thing that I'm noticing, and this could be me, you guys will have to see this in a sample section video, but it seems that the audio is actually shifted just by tiny bit, but again I could be wrong. But taking a look at the recording of the video and also the audio, we can see that in fact there is a little section of, I don't know, like 3 frames. This could possibly be like maybe half a second, maybe even less, but there's a little section that's simply missing. If I try to go back and you can see I try to move it, expand it, it's not there. So the recordings are not synced. The way it should be is like this. Let me just stretch it really quickly. So they should be aligned on both ends, but they are not. This is how it actually is. Other than that, the recording seems to be fine and it's actually running without any lag. Let's talk about the cons of the program. First thing is the name. What the heck? I'm just kidding. It is funny though. On the website, it clearly states, by clicking download for free, you are downloading the free version of Gecata by Movavi. However, once you install it, it's called trial version. I will have a critique on this section of the website and just this overall culture once again. Supported games. Why is this necessary? It pretty much lists you the supported games. Most of the other games will not work. I am really against this type of culture. The program should either work for D3D, DirectX, OpenGL applications, and that's pretty much it. Clearly, even they recognize this. Here's Solitaire. You can't really see it, but I'm gonna try to zoom this in. It clearly says DirectX 9. Even the developers recognize this fact. But why is it necessary for a program to support a game? Don't take this as too big of a critique. I'm not a developer, so I don't know. But this is novelty to me. This didn't exist before. If you take DX Story, Bandicam, OBS Studio, Mirrorless Action, or Fraps even, or a bunch of other programs, they simply either record a game or not. If it's DirectX, it's gonna be recorded. If it's OpenGL, it's gonna be recorded. That's it. I also tested this program with Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, and it simply didn't work. All games, and just overall, the list of games is pretty small. So, to some extent, the developers are actually hurting themselves like this. If you want to record this game, you can use the program. If not, just pass it by. The feature captures separate streams. I've shown you this in a video editing software. I actually have a audio recording of the microphone separately exported, and it wasn't the same length. This can create issues potentially. I think there was a little bit of the audio delay as well. All of this can potentially create some problems, although I might be imagining it. I'll leave you guys to check this and to be the judge in the sample section of this review. Upon opening the program, it takes some time. It's not very snappy opening. And one more thing, every time you open it, this thing pops up as well. Oh, it tells you, hey, you are using the free version, but if you want a full version, you can pay and unlock it. However, what if I want to just get into the program and record very fast? There is no option to turn this off inside the settings. It usually should be under other, but it's not there. As well as when closing the program, this thing pops up. Sometimes you get this pop-up, sometimes it's the pop-up to subscribe to the newsletter or something like that. Most of the times very unnecessary. Now let's take a look at the good things I ran into. First, I like that everything is neatly organized, and underneath every recording button there's a nice shortcut that tells you exactly what you are looking for. Sometimes you just forget which button to press. This easily reminds you. This is also available while recording the game. Under overlays, if you want to turn something on or off, it's right there. If you want to show it in the video itself, you can do that. You can also hide it if you want to. Very useful. I love that there's an option to choose whether you want a better quality or smaller size. Also, to have sort of a balance between the speed and the quality. It's going to affect your computer more or less depending on what you choose. The only other place where I have seen this available is inside OBS Studio. I always thought it's very useful for you to set. Even if you have weaker computer, you still might be able to use this at lower quality settings. The fact that feature to capture separate streams exists is, in my opinion, very good. This is the feature that I simply can't live without. This sort of a gallery itself also gives you a nice little editor with a couple of basic features, and it's very snappy to use. Also, you can see all of your videos, which you can also export, and you have a bunch of very useful options here. Just the exporting feature itself is very good. One thing that I find likable for me is this yellow outline. It sort of makes the program stand out on your computer. This is nothing major, but I just like it. It's fancy. And the option to minimize the program to the tray area is super useful. If you are recording your desktop, look, here's my recorder. Oh, it's gone. Oh, this one's gone as well. You don't know if I'm using anything to record a desktop. However, I still choose to show this. I get lazy to always click the button and hide the recorder. I also like to see how long am I recording. So first I want to show you the settings that I have used. Devices, files, hotkeys, overlays, but you did see me turn off overlay. Also, here's the video. I tried using like middle options in general, and webcam off, streaming off, and also here's other. Now I want to show you the size of the recorded file. We have just the recording of the game. It's actually 60.8 megabytes, and I'm actually going to show you the media info really quickly. Other than that, so here's the media info. So we can see that I did set 60 frames per second, but it was recorded at 17.5 frames per second, even though in the video you will see me and you will see the frames per second in the video. So why was it recorded at 17? I don't know. But here's audio, and also the audio recording is, so what is this, 700 kilobytes, so you can see the information right there as well. Overall, together these two files are about 61.5 megabytes for 30-second recording. So here I am recording a sample video. I'm just gonna destroy a couple of things so you can compare the sound if there's any delay. So there we go. We can, I guess, use that to see if there's any delay. I'm also gonna show you the overlay so you can see that, and I'm just gonna move around a little bit. I'm recording, I think, 60 frames per second. Feels a little choppy, but nothing major, and it's Minecraft after all. So there we go. Final summary and a review of this program. Overall, it's a very interesting program. I like the design, I like the simplicity, straight to the point, and very customizable, bunch of options. I did tell you guys to not pay a lot of attention to the impact on my system and how it all looked like, because everybody's going to record different games again and everybody's going to use a different computer. But I like that there's a lot of customization, so I can turn this down if it's lagging for me, so maybe the recording will be smoother next time, a little better. However, it wasn't that bad. And the program itself has a bunch of features very neatly organized. I did run into a couple of issues that I presented in cons section. You can ignore them for the most part. But the thing that really concerned me is, when I was looking at the MediaInfo, I did clearly have over 60 frames while the recording was on, but it only recorded 17.5 frames per second, which is actually very interesting. I've never seen that happen. Very low frames per second for a recording of the game. Maybe that's why it looks choppy in the recording. Again, you'll have to test this for yourself. The bitrate of audio is actually pretty decent. In my opinion, this is sort of a medium quality recording, so overall not much complaint there. What really surprised me is the depth of this program, how many options you have. Now, I was thinking maybe if you purchase this program, it's gonna work even better, but this is a trial version, so the only limitations are you can record up to 10 minutes and there's a watermark. And I think this is how the program is gonna work even if you do purchase it, which leaves questions for those issues that I ran into. However, again, the program has options, and after probably customizing it a little bit, choosing options, you might be able to get a very good recording. However, that's for you to figure it out on your own. As far as my opinion, I like the options, especially once I've seen that there is a capture separate streams option, which I also call record microphone into separate audio track, and that's something that I really require. However, the feature is questionable. I'm not sure if it's executed perfectly. You'll have to let me know what you have seen in the sample section. Was the audio delayed? Were there any issues? But yeah, that's pretty much it. The program is overall just fine. And really, with these game recording programs, it's gonna be trial and error for everybody, whether you can set it up for yourself if it works. One thing that I've noticed is also with the program, I'm using mirrorless action. That's the program that fits me best, and I'm recording with the program currently, and still it's using less memory than Gecata that's not recording at all. It's just sitting there and using quite a substantial amount of RAM for an idle program. Now the question remains, am I going to use this program, and what rating do I give this program? Well, just like in my previous videos, you guys will have to click the link in the video description, and it's going to take you to this little spreadsheet. I have programs that I reviewed, and there's a couple of extra notes if you want to take a look at those, and also the ratings. So that's gonna be it pretty much for this program and this review. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I answered all of your questions. Let me know in the comments below if you have anything to say. Basically, do consider rating the video and leave the comments below. Let me know what you think. And that's it. Thank you so much for your support and your attention. I will see you in future episodes. Priest, signing out.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep